Trump's obsession with Greenland is actually starting to make more sense because it turns out that his billion.
So it's not just one thing. That's the thing I want to talk about here, is it's not just one thing. He's not going after Greenland and Venezuela and Canada just over one thing. Because there's multiple factions all trying to get their agendas achieved through the office of the President of the United States. We've got the tech bros, who are descendants of people, of men who believed in technate ideology. We'll get into that in a minute. So that's the Elon Musk, the Bill Gates, the Peter Thiels, the Mark Andreessens, that Sam Altman, that crew. Then we've got the actual Yahtzees, who have surrounded themselves around Trump, and Trump seems to be welcoming that ideology, and they're trying to usher in the Fourth Reich, a la Stephen Miller, right? And enrich themselves at the same time, which is fundamentally part of Yahtzeeism, right? Where the people in power get to enrich themselves by stealing other people's stuff and oppressing all the BIPOC people and the people that they deem are undesirable. And then you've got the religious right, who practices evangelical dominionism, which is the belief that God has put the resources in the ground for the rich people to extract, no matter the cost, to human life, to enrich themselves. And God wouldn't have given us these resources if he didn't intend for us to take them out of the ground. So if people die, well, that must be God's will. Those are your three basic ideologies that are all fighting to get their agendas completed through the President of the United States office, through the Oval Office. So in my opinion, it's not just one thing, it's many things. But what she's talking about is this, technate ideology. And we were talking about it we've been talking about it for a while now. This article came out in 2023 to promote a book called The End of Reality, where the author warns about the uprise of Silicon Valley and how they're trying to usher in this new ideology across the Western Hemisphere. And this is what I want to focus on right now, because there's so much information that's been coming at us, and it comes from all sides, and everybody has a conspiracy theory, and everybody's got a theory on what it is. It's not just one thing, it's many things, but this is one of those things. You understand? So technate ideology is where scientists and engineers get to rule the world. Reuters also wrote about it early in 2025, April 10th, 2025. And if you do some digging, you'll find that the person who really got it off the ground was a guy named Howard Scott, and he was an American engineer. It arrived during the Great Depression in the 1930s, when there was a power vacuum and people were questioning capitalism. This guy came up with technate ideology. And what it includes is governance by experts, energy certificates, continentalism, meaning like encompassing the entire North America, and efficiency. And the goal was efficiency and abundance. This guy believed that a handful of not tech bros, but a handful of engineers and scientists should be the ones ruling, authoritarian style, no democracy, and they would rule the entire Western Hemisphere. And guess whose father tried to start the technate ideology movement in Canada? Elon Musk's grandfather was a big push around the technate movement in Canada, to the point that the Canadian government labeled him an enemy of the state and forbade him from and labeled technate ideology a national security threat, and he was forbidden from continuing to practice this ideology in Canada. Shortly after that, he left and went to South America because they had apartheid. But I digress. And here is one of the very few technate of America maps that was produced initially when this movement was trying to get off the ground in the 1930s. See, the movement never went away, it just went underground. And now that we have a bunch of tech billionaires who have more money than most people, than the rest of the world, they're trying to usher in this utopia, this technological utopia that they were raised on. Because Thiel, Musk, Bezos, Gates, all of them have been having these discussions for decades. And some of them, as in the case of Musk and Thiel, and I believe Altman, were raised in this technate ideology because it comes from their grandparents and their grandfathers and their fathers. And basically, technate ideology, while it sounds really lofty, is having one select group of people rule all over everyone else and make the decisions of what they think the world should look like. And doesn't this map look like something that Donald Trump would put out today? Right? Look at it. That's the Technate of America map. And don't come at me for using AI summary. I find it to be very fitting to use AI to talk about how awful the creators of AI are. Okay, I find that to be some sort of cosmic justice. Okay. Anyways, my point being is that it's not just one thing, but all of these things together hold hands and tie into each other, right? And it's scary as fuck, right? So the thing is I guess what I'm trying to say is that when we're having these conversations about Greenland or Venezuela or Canada or the things that Trump is pulling, even domestically and internationally, it's not just one thing. It's not just one faction. It's not just one ideology being pushed. Right now, all these ideologies kind of hold hands together. So they'll tolerate each other in order to get their agendas forwarded. But once their agendas come into conflict, like you see with Musk and Trump, or Musk and Bannon, you start to see the cracks and the infighting. So, yes, it's about national security. Yes, it's about oils and minerals. Yes, it's about technology. Yes, it's about owning, it's about imperialism and expansion. It's about all of it. All of it. Trump sees himself as somebody who can rule the world, which appeases all the Yahtzees around him. The tech bros see Trump as a useful idiot to push forward their agenda of the technate ideology. And the religious right has been playing the long game for the evangelical dominionists, have been playing the long game for over 50 years. And they see Trump also as a useful idiot in order to get their agenda pushed forward. At least that's my opinion. Anyways, I hope you learned something. Say no to Christo-fascism and have a day.